Week 7 of the PPL and your Vancouver Titans are taking on the 𝗘হি Gunner, coach of the Thunderclap Titans, someone that's had an incredible return to draft this year and the one that ended our P4G playoff run. So it goes without saying this will be far from easy, especially since he's just lost one game this entire season. If that wasn't enough, 𝗘হি has a strong draft, with two of the MVPs of the league in 𝗘হি and Uni, his trusted 𝗘watch tool that put the nail in our P4G coffin. enamorus is still on fraud watch but is very strong into our team, and the combination of 𝗘lich and 𝗘mola are incredibly difficult for us to break. 𝗬𝗏 offers rapid spin utility, whilst 𝗘hilarious 𝗺𝗏𝗀 is a solid Terra Captain option. His last three of Lucario, Froslass and Zangoose could all come here as well, as he really doesn't have a weak spot on his roster. With this being such an important game and 𝗘হি being a fantastic player, I had to come in with a really solid game plan, and a vital part of that is breaking down 𝗘lich. So to help with that, Raging Roger returns once again, holding an eject pack to be able to click Draco Meteor a little bit more freely without having to worry about giving away free turns to 𝗘lich. Thunderclap is a great way of helping to deal with his faster threats, most notably enamorus, whilst Discharge made sense to have for the power chance since I didn't really need the power of Thunderbolt this week. Lastly, Roar is a great option for being able to rack up some chip damage once rocks go up, and also helps to prevent any setup on 𝗘hi's side. Iron Crown is our win con for this week since it can outspeed everything after an agility, and the combination of Tachyon Cutter and Psychic does huge damage to everything on 𝗘hi's side, besides of course the 𝗘lich. For the item this week we opted for the Air Balloon as it allows us to set up on some of his bigger threats, being enamorus, 𝗘watch and even 𝗘lich if we manage to get it low before Iron Crown comes in. What this also does is it forces Gouging Fire to take recoil damage since it can't spam EQ should he choose to bring that over Psychic Fangs. The last slot was a bit of a question mark, and I opted for Calm Mind as there were scenarios where the speed setup wasn't needed and instead I can boost my special attack and my bulk and clean up that way instead. Since 𝗘hi's team doesn't really appreciate rocks, Great Tusk is up next despite this actually not being a great matchup for it. Stealth Rock is a necessity this game, as Serena seems like a less likely bring in this matchup, and that's his only removal option. So realistically they should stay up all game, and 𝗘hi really doesn't like bringing boots, so hazards would be great for chipping down Gouging Fire and 𝗘watch. But offensively it shouldn't really be relevant in this matchup since 𝗘mola can kind of just sit on it all game, and as much as I wanted to bring a set that could actually just beat 𝗘mola 1v1, just having the utility made more sense this time, and ended up going for Earthquake to not take the Rocky Helmet damage and Ice Spinner to be able to hit his flyers. If we get a rapid spin up, we might be able to do some work with this mon, but I think the position has to be absolutely perfect. Since 𝗘mola, enamorus and 𝗘lich are issues for this team, Zarude with its Terra Poison was a must bring. This set started off being banded but never really wanted to lock itself in, so I decided to pivot to a Swords Dance set once again. The combination of Terra Blast and Stomping Tantrum hits the majority of 𝗘hi's team, and a Swords Dance boosted Trailblaze deals great damage to both 𝗘lich and 𝗘mola, while simultaneously making us very difficult to revenge, especially since the Shucker Berry means we can take a hit and OHKO almost everything put in front of us. Since I really wasn't wanting to bank on 𝗘lich staying in on Zarude to be able to KO it, Farigiraf comes this week as a way of baiting 𝗘lich in and two-shotting it with Grass Knot. Lucario and Froslass were arguably the two least likely brings on 𝗘hi's side, so Hyper Voice is our only other attacking move to cover the rest of 𝗘hi's team and take advantage of the nasty plot boosts we can get in front of almost everything due to our Citrus and Cudchew combination giving us a guaranteed 50% back thanks to Protect. As much as I would have liked to have more coverage, nothing hit 𝗘lich for nearly enough damage, and a game plan is a game plan. If Farigiraf can go 1 for 1 in this game, then it's done its job, and if that 1 is 𝗘lich, even better. Lastly, I wanted a Pokemon that, similarly to Farigiraf, can take a hit from anything and hit back for big damage, and that means enamorus Therian comes off the bench to make her debut. Draining Kiss makes for a great recovery option against the huge HP pools on 𝗘hi's team, and Earth Power hits 𝗘hilarious 𝗺𝗏𝗀 for huge damage. Since 𝗘watch is the best mon for 𝗘hi to revenge enamorus with, Calm Mind allows us to take a hit from it, whilst also powering up our Draining Kiss recovery. Healing Wish makes for a great cleric option to bring back a breaker or sweeper that gets weakened or burned earlier in the battle. Lastly, the Rocky Helmet will add some extra chip should Gouging Fire attack, since it either needs to go for a Flare Blitz or an Iron Head to do any kind of meaningful damage. And that's going to be a team for this week. It's designed to make 𝗘hi think much more about how he can deal with our threats instead of building our team to deal with his. And with us being 4-2, a win here would be a shoo-in to playoffs and make it so we only have to win one of our last 2 remaining games. Make sure to check out 𝗘হি. He's been popping off this year and puts everything into his content. And if you're enjoying our content, then please do think about leaving a like and subscribing. The support is greatly appreciated. And with that out of the way, let's get into the battle. Okay, so here we are for the battle against 𝗘হি. Let's see what he brought. Okay, so Ellie was right. Zangoose is here. The Zangoose is a threat. Everything else is exactly what I expected. So Raging Roger is the lead. The only thing we can't really allow is for the Zangoose to kind of come in with its Toxic Orb. Once we chip it down, it's fine. Wish passing from 𝗘mohmolar could be annoying. What do we not see? Slowbro. Slowbro I thought was pretty good into my team, so kind of surprised to not see that. But yeah, the game plan is try and get momentum, don't lose momentum, essentially. He might try and use Zangoose as a way to try and allow Gouging Fire to be able to set up later, but we'll go ahead and lock that in. Our lead was always going to be the same. If we see a Color Watchful lead, we just click Draco. We click Draco no matter what, and hope that he doesn't just go into enamorus, because that would actually just suck. Once we terrorize a Rude, it looks a lot better in this matchup. Its initial typing is just terrible into everything except for the 𝗘mohmolar and I guess the Tinglu as well. And good luck, have fun to 𝗘হি. Let's see what he leads off with. That's going to be the Killer Watcher. That's exactly what I was hoping for. He should just Volt Switch or U-turn. If he does Terror, he dies. But I think 𝗘হি is more likely just to go for a Volt Switch, go out into his Tinglu, which should be his dedicated check to this Mon. The game plan is just to wear down the Tinglu. Yep, there's a Volt Switch. That is to 375. I don't think that's Specs. 6%, no. I think Specs was 8. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be Scarf or Boots. We'll find out. Mummy comes in. Okay. I see how it is. Do we live 1 here? I could just go for a Roar, because the Thunderclap is like super obvious, right? Unless this is Wakan. Go out into my Frozraf and take this hit. Let's have a quick look though. enamorus. If it's Choice Scarf, Moonblast would not knock me out. So it would have to be Specs. But I don't think you go into this. Yeah, I'm going to just go out into my Frozraf. It's the safest mid ground. He does withdraw. I assume Tinglu comes in. Yeah, but this is fine. I don't mind this, because there's nothing he can do that really causes me any issues, and I will just click a nasty plot and then start trying to wear away at this Mon. Effectively, we lost nothing from those turns, which is the best case scenario from the point of view that enamorus is a massive threat to my team, and we have now potentially bluffed the Choice Specs, which is nice. So yeah, we're going to just plot up. If he whirlwinds, he whirlwinds. But I expect to see Rocks or maybe even a Ruination, which is why we're at 400 health, so we get our Citrus straight away. And we can just throw off a Grass Knot here. No reason not to. We'll gain 100 HP back, so I don't see any downside, because Kilowatt Draw is surprisingly bulky. By bulky I mean fat. So we can do some pretty good damage with a Grass Knot, and this should be his like check to this Mon, and we're back at full if he does switch. So realistically we should be able to pick up a kill against anything on his team. And we did put the extra bulk in, so we should be able to live a Facade from from Zangoose if he does go out into Zangoose hit. But if he goes out into Zangoose, we're doing just huge amounts of damage, so it should be fine. We immediately put him in a position where he has to make a decision. What's coming out? Broly. Okay. Well, I mean, this is fine. It is booster. Is it boosted defense? It's attack. Okay. Well, we should be able to take one. This Grass Knot should still do something. Yeah, that's not bad damage. So we get our 𝗘H and we're back up at full, which is, you know, lovely. We love to see that. He is preserving his JBL. And I'm just going to go for a Hyper Voice. I know it's booster attack. Should be able to take anyone. And there's no reason for me to switch out, because we're still keeping that pressure on him. If I had just Hyper Voiced on that turn, I mean, he would have taken a lot of damage. I'm surprised that he decided to switch out. Like, he should know he doesn't kill me from full here. Saying that, we don't knock out max HP, so if he is max HP, then we don't... I mean, we don't even knock it out if it's not max HP. Break and Swipe doesn't do more than half, so we'll take that. Hyper Voice is going to do a lot, and I'm just going to go into my enamorus, because I want him to take the Rocky Helmet and die here. And I want to keep Regiroth at least around to be able to click Grass Knot against things later. And since it's not Specs 𝗘HP, it might be a Specs enamorus, and having a sack for enamorus would also be very helpful. Like, what I think he's doing here is putting me in range of his fire move. So yeah, he should just go for like a Flare Blitz or something along those lines here. Which is obviously going to hurt a lot here. Yeah, there's the Blitz. Gonna do some good damage. And yeah, Rocky Helmet gets the kill, so enamorus picking up first kill of its season. You love to see that. However, it's going to be a little bit tough, I think, to get this thing back up to a reasonable amount of health. Saying that, if I ever get it in on the Ting Lu, we should be able to Draining Kiss it for a good amount of damage. But getting rid of Gouging Fire for a good amount of damage on a couple of mons, but it's definitely worth. It should be a 𝗘HP rule that comes out here. As it's going to be. I think I do just go into Raging Roger. I think there's no reason for me to like try and predict my way around. If he Terra Grounds and goes for a Terra Blast, good read. Currently I'm in a position where I guess he's in a position where he needs to try and make a read because he has just lost one of his biggest threats, but he has done a lot of damage to two of my mons in exchange. So yeah, I think we should be alright. I think actually Zaru's now looking really good for the end game because Gouging Fire was one of those mons that it really struggled to take down. He's just going to Volt Switch. Okay. And I think this time if the... Okay, JBL comes in. I'm just going to Draco. The enamorus can come in, but because I switched out earlier, he might still think that I'm locked in. So I'm going to try and play off of that this time, and he doesn't have as many switches. So we're going to get the Draco off. That is a V. I think that's a V. I don't have many better opportunities to try and get you up to a reasonable amount of health, so I am just going to bring in bring in my enamorus and attempt to get some health back. Okay, he's not. He's max for death, and that was like a min roll in that case. He's just lefties. No citrus. Interesting. Okay. So I'm pretty free to go for a Draining Kiss. Right now there's nothing... Like, he could be Heavy Slam or Stone Edge, but I expect it to be Ruination, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, and Whirlwind to prevent my setup. So I will just Draining Kiss, try and get some health back. And that's a very good amount of health to be getting back. Just Whirlwinds. There we go. Into Great Tusk. Great Tusk would be lovely. It'd be so good here. I do need to set my rocks like soon as possible. Okay, well that's the worst thing, because now he gets to see what my item is as well. Yeah, he sees that I'm Air Balloon. He could also just go for Phasing Move again. But I think it is about time that I try and get Great Tusk in and set up my hazards here. Remove his hazards as well. Stealth Rock are very annoying. Yeah, that certainly wasn't the ideal Whirlwind switching, but you know, it is what it is. He might just Whirlwind again, it would make sense. Hey, Ruinations. That's absolutely fine. Do I want to get rid of rocks or put up rocks first? I want to get rid of rocks first. Like I probably said in the team builder, I don't know, I haven't recorded it yet. Great Tusk is kind of expendable in this matchup. It's really just here to be able to get rid of rocks or spikes or whatever this JBL wanted to set up, and set up his own rocks, because rocks are really, really good in this matchup for me. But I think at this current point in time, I would rather not be taking rocks damage than worry about his team taking rocks damage. And he can just go out into Aloe here, Yeah, Undine. I don't know, that's the correct pronunciation. I'm assuming this is something to do with Dragon Ball Z. Because I... Thanks, Ellie. It is Rocky Helmet, it's to be expected. I think just getting my own rocks up now is the most important thing. I will trade my Grey Tusk in exchange for rocks, basically, at this point. We might actually live a Scold, but it's Uzi, so he will burn it. I don't think we take a Scold into a burn, at least. What it does mean is that the rest of the game we probably will have to play with rocks up, but that shouldn't be too bad because our win cons aren't too concerned about it. He just flip turns. Mummy comes in. This allows us to see whether or not you are Choice Scarf. So I will absolutely go for the attack. And it could be just to bait me to go for the Ice Spinner. It's not Scarfed, so that should be a dead enamorus. Nope, it's just incredibly bulky. Eating our Roselli at 50 HP. Huge. But Grey Tusk did a lot here. Did a lot. Rocks do get to go back up very freely. I could go into you and just Tachyon, but then rocks do go back up. However, I don't outspeed of anything, and I think the Thunderclap might be a little bit too obvious. So I think the better play right now... Actually, I could Trailblaze. What's still alive? We know this isn't Scarfed. Yeah, I think we're going to make this a rude play here. It might be a little early. If he switches, we're in a pretty good spot. If he Moonblast, we're in a good spot. So yeah, I'm just going to go for a Trailblazer. Like, if he Earth Powers, that's why we got the Shaka, because we didn't want to be in a position where, potentially, we will just drop to an Earth Power from this one. He does withdraw. Okay. So that may have been Choice Locked. And we notice his helmet. God, SD would have gone crazy there. But I didn't want to risk 2 Earth Powers in a row if he predicted me. I will just go for the SD after this, though. Trailblaze does a decent amount. We are going to take the Rocky Helmet. Just going to go for the SD. Because if he scolds and burns us, we just had to keep SDing until the end of time. And yeah, there's a Scold. Does he burn? He does burn, it's Uzi, of course. Only reasonable that he would burn it. If I SD again, it does put me in range, but I kind of have to, I think, at this point. As it turns out, maybe Covert Cloak was the play. So I'm at +4. I'll be +4 and burned to a low Momola. How much is Terra Blast Poison doing? Still not a lot of damage, despite being +4 and burned. Him switching out into Uni here would be probably the best case scenario. He is just going to Healing Wish. I'm going to assume into the enamorus. I want to say that was the only thing that could have taken a hit here. Outside maybe Tinglu? Yeah, Tinglu. This is still fine. Like, his Alomo is gone, so I can just Trailblaze. It's not going to do a great deal of damage just because I'm burned. And I assume he's just going to Whirlwind? No, he Earthquakes. So my game plan still is in play. Because this thing is still getting weakened. So this will just be another Earthquake. There's no reason for him to not go for another Earthquake. And then I can go out into, what, enamorus? Because his own enamorus is dead on re-entry unless it's Boots. Which I assume it is because he saved it. I think, yeah, I'm just going to go out into Farigiraf here. Because I can just click Grass. It's not a great deal that wants to switch in on this. So especially if I go for a hyper voice. If I go for a hyper voice, then he's kind of like, he's in a terrible position. Switching into anything else, he might switch in the enamorus, I guess. Maybe I should have thought about that a little bit more. But this is now in range, and realistically all I need is to be able to set up an agility, and I think Iron Crown should be able to clean up. We'll see. It's definitely a 50-50 endgame at the moment. But this damage on Tinglu is huge. A low Mola going down also means I don't have to worry about too much. He's going to withdraw. Okay. Zangoose comes in. That's going to do a decent amount of chip. It's not toxic boost. I don't know what this is then. Oh, I'm an idiot. I should have kept my Zarude around. I have Healing Wish. I completely forgot I had Healing Wish. I changed that last second. So that's on me. I could have Healing Wished out into my Zarude and got it back up to full. I'm not entirely sure what this is going to do. I'm pretty scared. I am just going to Hyper Voice. See, Final Gambit. Does that knock me out? It doesn't even knock me out. Okay. Well, I mean, that's Crisis Averted as far as I'm concerned. Like, that thing was an absolute demon to my team. So that was probably just Scarf. That was terrifying. I didn't expect that. That's for sure. Enamorus comes out. I have to just Hyper Voice. Is this also going to be Healing Wish? No. Okay. It is Boots, though. We know it's Boots. And I think this has got to be the time in which I just go into... I go into you. And I click Agility. And if it is Healing Wish, then his... Tinglu looks scary. But I should still be okay. I think I questionably, yeah, it's Healing Wish as well. Okay, so once again, he has to break through Tinglu. The Healing Wish spam is a little bit annoying, I will say. It's a little bit annoying. But it was his best way of just keeping us alive. Like, my game plan obviously revolved around this getting weakened. So my best play, because he's going to kill me in 2 hits, is to just go for 2 Tachyons. Because again, I still need this weakened. I don't think this is my win con. And I know for sure that if I get my Enamorus up to a good amount of health, then I'm also still in a good spot. Like, I still got 1 healthy mon in the back that can still deal with the 𝗘h_𝗺𝗀, even if it Terra grounds, as long as we connect with a Draco, then it dies. Unless it's really bulky. If it's bulky boots, then it won't. But it also shouldn't be able to one-shot us in any world. Even if it specs from this range, I don't think it would. So I do just need to get my damage. Is he just whirlwinds? Okay. Well, there's one that I would like to see come in here. And there's one that I definitely wouldn't like to see come in. Yeah, that seems about right. That seems about right. Hard Enamorus it is. He might choose to set up rocks here because of Enamorus. Yeah. So now I just Draining Kiss, because Draining Kiss should put me out of range of his 𝗘h_𝗺𝗀. Actually, yeah, no, it should. It should always do that. And his play probably is just to keep whirlwinding. He could go 𝗘h_𝗺𝗀 now. In fact, actually his better play is probably going into 𝗘h_𝗺𝗀. But it depends actually if it's Boots. We would 2-hit KO Boots. And Thunderbolt would do 72 to 85. Currently at 194, we get like 30-ish% back. So it would be at 86, which should be enough. But it's going to be a very tight endgame. It's going to be very close. We could still very well lose. Yeah. Okay, so there's a switch. He does take the rocks, so Draining Kiss will be a 2-hit KO. We go up to 311. I lose this game if I let this Mong die. So I've got to go into Bolt. If he Terror and if he Terrors here and Terror Blast, it's fine. I let Bolt go down. He is going to go for it. That's valid. Nah, he just thunderbolts. Okay, well, do I just roar? Yeah. Because if Tinlu comes out, I just roar it back out. And if he is scarfed, then we would get that information. It's all about the end game chip, it seems. Because there's no reason why you wouldn't go for Terror Blast here. Right, I don't think there's any reason you wouldn't go for Terror Blast. Well, not if you had it, if you weren't locked into a move here. Because he's shown he's not boots, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be choice locked in one way. And I don't think he was specs. Okay. So this works out kind of fine. Like I say, as long as I've got enamorus alive, then I should be alright. So pull Uni back out. And this time I will just go for the Draco. Terror Blast probably does kill me from this range. Yeah. But I go into you. And I still have my air balloon. So he has to switch. Yeah, he volts. Well, might have been a misplay. If I had gone for a Draco first, weakened this, would that have been... That may have put me in a better position. I'm going to Tachyon again. I am going to just Tachyon again. Like, he's in a 50-50 where if I switch here, he's in a really bad spot. But I need to put this in range. I want him to kill me here, I think. Because what I want to do is set up a Calm Mind. He just wins. Okay, well... He needs us weakened. He does need us weakened. So maybe he just whirlwinds again. I think my play is Draining Kiss into Healing Wish. But I'm gonna check that. He just whirlwinds again. So does he just keep whirlwinding? I'm gonna double back out because his loose con is me being able to set up. How much was Tachyon doing? Yeah, he just whirlwinds again. Okay. Losing my air balloon earlier might be very costly for me. I don't think Tachyon kills from here. And I want him to kill me, I think. I think I'm in that situation where I want him to pick up the kill. And he needs to be somewhat healthy for me to be able to set up a Calm Mind and then get a good amount of health back. Because if he EQs here... If he whirlwinds, it's not great. I'm going to Calm Mind. Because I want him to whirlwind me out or kill me. Yeah. Like, best case scenario is that he just, you know, kills me. Now I Draining Kiss to get myself back up. I think it's just one more round of that. I think it's just one more round of that. Because he can't actually kill me with this Mon, so he has to whirlwind. But does he attack on this turn? Regardless, like, I can't agility here if I think this is what I gotta do, and I just gotta hope that he doesn't whirlwind on this turn. He goes for the earthquake. He does just whirlwind. Okay. So that's very annoying. I don't know why he wouldn't go for an earthquake there, because he had me in a position where I straight up just couldn't win. I guess like his only way of losing this game is if he lets this take too much damage. So I'm going to Tachyon, and if he does EQ on this turn, I'm going to be a little sad. But essentially, I need him to whirlwind here. Me healing wish. Okay, we have a chance, boys. We have a chance. So now I healing wish out into you, Tachyon into psychic, and I think that should win the game. Have I got enough HP to do so? Yes. Okay. So that is my play. Tachyon should kill after 2 lots of leftovers. So healing wish, right back at you, Uzi. This is what I just needed the positioning for. I needed Tinglu low enough that Tachyon would kill. And then I go out into Crown, and I hope for the best. Because if Crown can take a Terra Blast ground, if it can take Terra Blast ground without our balloon, we should do. I don't think agility is worth it, because I don't think I'd knock it out afterwards. I just have to go for this. Yeah, I wouldn't have knocked it out after an agility, so I did have to attack on that turn. And now it just comes down to whether or not he's expert belt, because if he's expert belt, 70 to 83, we should still be fine. Should still be fine. This is... Regardless, this has been a fantastic game. Really, really good game. Just going to go for the Tachyon cutter. Not going to fuck about. Uzi, do you have anything in your locker? Because we know this is not specs. The worst it can be is expert belt, and it says we should live that, unless it's modest. Even then, even modest, we should be fine. Fantastic game, Uzi, like genuinely really good. Goes for the Terra Blast. We live. Tachyon cutter picks up the KO, and that's going to be a 1-0 win against Uzi. We moved to 5-2, nearly through that endgame, but eventually we managed to get it to a point where we were fine. We had to just... I kept trying to play off of him attacking me, and he was always trying to play to never let me set up. So, yeah, we found the one turn to healing wish, and it took us a moment. What a game. Make sure to go check out Uzi. And if you enjoyed Battle, please leave a like and subscribe. Until next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.